Hello, welcome along to Sportsbet TV with me, Paul Alster. It is great to be back with you for the final time for my last couple of selections for Royal Ascot 2023 here at Sportsbet. If you're joining me for the first time on this free service, then please press the subscribe button just below this screen and you'll be able to follow my free selections going forward. Of course, if you're interested in joining my subscriber service with the premium selections, then do check out the link at Patreon just below this main video screen. And I have to say that although the selections that I've had for you here at Sportsbet this week so far at Royal Ascot haven't exactly set the world alight, I'm very pleased to say that over at Out in Front it's gone really well, and we've had a series of very nice price placed horses, and the cherry on top of the cake has been a 25-1 winner on Thursday. Recommended odds of 25-1 returned at 18s. That's seen all my followers there very nicely in profit, and very pleased that they took the opportunity to join me at Out in Front. I hope you will too. But let me take you straight to the two that I have for you at Royal Ascot on Saturday. It's been hugely competitive as always, and I'm looking at two really tough races for Saturday to sign off with. Now, the 5 o'clock race at Royal Ascot is one of the big handicap sprints of the year, the Wokingham Handicap over 6 furlongs. There are 28 runners. Now, I'm going to be backing two in the race, one of which I've recommended over at Out in Front, and the other one is being recommended here at Sportsbet. I think they've both got real chances here, and you can make a strong case for the pair, and I'll be backing them both. Now, one thing that appears to have been the case as of Friday afternoon when I'm recording this bulletin for you is that there doesn't appear to have been very much draw bias at Royal Ascot this week, and so working on that basis, I'm not overly concerned about where horses are coming from. They've done a great job, I think, with the ground and giving all the horses a pretty much equal chance no matter where they've been drawn. Now, the 6-1 favourite as of Friday is Charles Hill's Orazio, who's on a hat-trick after wins at Newmarket and Ascot over the 6 furlong course and distance. They were both with plenty of cut in the ground, and he's gone up £9 since his latest win. So he has to prove he can handle a rising grade, a much faster surface, and I think that he'll do well to win in such a much better race than he's faced so far. He looks a little bit of a false favourite to me. Now, Peter Charalambos has a good 6 furlong handicapper called Apollo 1, who was a really good second at Epsom last time out, where he stayed on strongly. And in this very race last year, he was 8th of 26 to Rohan, who offer £1 higher, and I can see Apollo 1 really building on his effort at Epsom last time out and running another really good race. It's always hard to ignore William Haggis in these big sprints. He's got Kanjar, who was second at Hamilton last time out in a Class 2, only beaten a length. And I do like the fact that they've popped the furry face furniture on him, the cheap pieces, and he's drawn 24, perfectly good draw. Another horse who's been doing really well over the last 9 to 12 months is the Jenny Candlish trained Probe, who won a really valuable £100,000 heritage handicap at Newmarket in the spring. He probably just didn't like the track at Epsom with the camber and everything else, and was disappointing last time out. But obviously they're feeling that he's going to run well because they've called on the services of Ryan Moore, who's having a fabulous Royal Ascot once again. So I think that Probe is going to go very well indeed, and there are a number of other horses you can really make a case for. But as I say, I'm backing two at fairly decent prices, and the one I put to you here at Sportsbet is Mr. Wagyu. Mr. Wagyu is trained by John Quinn and the man of Jason Hart. This is a cracking sprint handicapper when conditions are right, and one of the conditions seems to be prerequisite is that it has to be June or July for him to win. He's won a remarkable 15 races, and all of them have been either in June or July. So he's a proper summer horse, and as long as the sun keeps shining, he has got a chance of going very well here. He looked to be coming to his peak for this season when he was third right at the start of June on the Derby Day at Epsom in a hot handicap. and was fancied to go and build on that with a win at Haydock last time out, but he ran an uncharacteristic poor race. He was 9-4 favourite, and I think simply he just had an off day or something was amiss, and I'm quite prepared to forgive him that. Now, he did run in this race last year and ran a blinder. He was 4th of 26 to Rohan, wasn't beaten at all far, and that was off £5 higher than he carries this year. So given that he ran so well at Epsom on his penultimate start, the fact that he's £5 lower than this race 12 months ago, I think means he's got a real proper chance. And both the trip and the ground are ideal. It is his time of year, and I'm hoping he can bounce back. He's 20-1 each way, with 6 places offered at the time of this recording, amongst others with Ladbrokes, Betfred, and with Coral. So that's Mr. Wagyu, who goes in the Wokingham at Royal Ascot on Saturday at 5 o'clock. And for my final choice on what's been a really competitive, very enjoyable Royal Ascot, is the 5:35 race there, the penultimate race of the meeting, the Golden Gates Handicap. It's over 1.25 miles. There are 16 runners on good to firm ground, and they've gone short on Aidan O'Brien's runner, Canute, who is the 3-1 favourite. He's got fair handicap form and improved last time out to win at Navan over 10 furlongs at this very trip, off 82 in Ireland. He's now running off 93 here in Britain. I think there's a little more needed, but clearly Aidan's so well at placing them in handicaps. And it might be that he's just turned the corner, this horse, and he's starting to improve in leaps and bounds. So you certainly couldn't rule out a very bold show, but 3-1 looks very skinny. Now, there's been a market move already for the marker. Charlie Johnston trained Knockbreaks, 11:02 on Thursday evening, 7:02 on Friday afternoon. So the money's really come for Knockbreaks. A Pontefract 1.25 maiden winner in April on soft ground, second to the fast improving Gregory over nearly 1.5 miles in the novice stakes 2 weeks after that, and most recently 4th at York in a decent 1.5 mile handicap on good to firm. Now, they obviously felt that the 1.5 mile stretched him out, and so they preferred the stiff 1.25 miles, and with the money that's come for him, you have to respect his chance. And Charlie Johnson also has a horse who's actually stepping up in trip from 9 to 10 furlongs, and that is Lion of War. He's gone up £4, and he did win nicely last time out at Musselburgh. Of course, the Gosdens have been having a very, very good week, winning the Gold Cup amongst others, and they've got the mile maiden winner, Leicester maiden winner, who's called Seeliway. Here off handicap bow of 88, going up 1/4 mile in trip, which could bring out further improvement, and look out for a market move for Seeliway. While Charlie Appleby has local dynasty, a Pontefract winner of a listed race last October, and third in the listed D stakes at Chester on soft ground on his reappearance. That was a Derby trial behind San Antonio, I think it was. And he's probably going to be a better horse on this surface, and you wouldn't rule out a big run from local dynasty. Now, once again, I'm backing a couple in this race, both of which I really fancy, and I'm hoping that will, cover many bases. And the one I put to you here is a horse called Have Secret. Have Secret, trained by Richard Fahey at Moulton and the mount of the very capable Asheen Orr, a horse who proved a money spinner as a juvenile last season, winning handicaps over 7 furlongs and 1.25 miles. He won a nursery over 1.25 miles as a 2-year-old, so he really can stay. But he ran a blinder first time out this season in the London Gold Cup at Newbury. That was won by Aidan O'Brien's Bertinelli. He was only beaten a length after just about popping his schnoz in front about 100 yards out. He couldn't quite maintain it, and just faded close home, only beaten a length. And of course, that form has been franked well and truly, amongst other horses, by Desert Hero, who won at Royal Ascot on Thursday. Now, I think there's little doubt that Have Secret will be better for the run. And so, having only just been run out of it there, and having only gone up £2, and the form of the London Gold Cup, I think is probably as good handicap form at this trip as you would find in Britain this year. I think he's got really serious claims. So 14-1 each way with Bet365, Coral and Ladbrokes, I think means that we're likely to see a very big run indeed from Have Secret in the 5:35 race, and that is betting for 5 places in the 5:35, the Golden Gates. So those are my 2 final selections, free selections here at Sportsbet. There are quite a number more available to you if you're interested in joining the subscription service at Out in Front, where we're showing a really good profit over Royal Ascot. But for now, for this weekend, I'll say goodbye. I wish you the very best of luck, whatever you back, and I look forward to speaking to you again, same time, here at Sportsbet next week. Goodbye. Bye-bye for now.